Turkey has officially completed the acquisition of 12 C-130J Super Hercules aircraft that once served under the Royal Air Force of the United Kingdom. These aircraft, veterans of countless British missions, are now undergoing full maintenance and modernization in Britain, before being transferred gradually to the Turkish Air Force. According to the UK Ministry of Defence, the planes were formally transferred to a private British aerospace company under a bilateral agreement that includes deep maintenance, structural inspection, and system upgrades. As reported by FlightGlobal and UK Defence Journal, the C-130J fleet, mainly the extended C-130J 30 variant, was retired by the Royal Air Force in mid-2023, marking the end of nearly 25 years of service. For the British, it closed one chapter. For the Turks, it opened another. The deal was conferred by UK Defence Journal, which noted that 12 UK C-130J aircraft have been transferred to a private company for modernization as part of an agreement with Turkey. Turkish defense officials have said that once the upgrades are complete, the aircraft will be brought home in phases and fully integrated into the national fleet. Long-term maintenance, they added, will be handled domestically after Turkish technicians and flight crews complete their type training. In a press briefing in Ankara on October 16, 2025, Rear Admiral Zeki Aktürk, spokesperson for the Ministry of National Defense, stated, "The aircraft will be gradually incorporated into our Air Force inventory after maintenance and modernization in the United Kingdom, under the signed contract." He confirmed that Turkish personnel were already deployed to Britain to observe the overhaul process and prepare for transfer of responsibility once the aircraft reach operational readiness. For the Royal Air Force, this transaction symbolically ends the Hercules era. Since the late 1990s, the C-130J has served as the backbone of Britain's tactical airlift fleet, taking part in combat and humanitarian missions from Iraq to the Caribbean. When the RAF shifted its focus to the larger Airbus A400M Atlas and relied on the heavy Boeing C-17 Globemaster, the Hercules became surplus. It was a practical choice, but also a nostalgic farewell to one of the RAF's most dependable workhorses. FlightGlobal reported that the refurbishment contract includes structural strengthening, a center wing box replacement, and avionics upgrades for several aircraft, valued at more than £200 million. Marshall Airspace in Cambridge is leading the work, ensuring the planes are delivered to Turkey in top operational condition. For Turkey, these aircraft arrive at a pivotal moment. The country's air transport capability has long depended on aging C-130B and C-130E variants, many more than 40 years old, despite upgrades under the Erciyes modernization program led by Turkish Aerospace Industries. The arrival of the C-130J represents a generational leap, bridging the performance gap between Turkey's smaller CN-235 light transports and its strategic Airbus A400M fleet. Technically, the C-130J is a complete redesign of the Hercules family. It uses Rolls-Royce AE2100D turboprop engines, a fully digital cockpit, modern flight management systems, and improved fuel efficiency. The stretched C-130J 30 variant can carry heavier payloads, up to 20 tons, or more than 120 fully equipped soldiers depending on configuration. It can operate from rough airstrips, conduct airdrops, perform medical evacuations, and deliver humanitarian aid deep into disaster zones. These are not glamorous missions, but they are the backbone of real-world military power. Wars are not only won by fighter jets or missiles, but by the quiet rhythm of logistics. Fuel, ammunition, and medical supplies moved through the air, on time, every time. The Turkish Air Force now possesses one of the most flexible airlift structures in the region. CN-235s for short-range transport, C-130Js for medium tactical lift, and A400Ms for strategic missions. This layered combination gives Turkey the capacity to support operations anywhere from the Balkans to the Middle East. Still, the transition is not simple. Integrating 12 foreign aircraft requires new maintenance procedures, spare part pipelines, ground crew training, and compatibility checks with domestic systems. Any misstep could ground the fleet or strain the defense budget. Yet Turkey's defense industry has grown confident enough to manage complex integration, as seen in the Turkish Modernization project and the A400M partnership with Airbus. From a geopolitical angle, the deal carries a layered message. Turkey remains a NATO ally, even as it often acts with independent calculation. By choosing British aircraft instead of Russian alternatives, Ankara signals that its defense posture still leans towards Western interoperability, especially amid heightened tensions between the Western alliance and Moscow. At the same time, the purchase demonstrates pragmatic realism. Ankara knows Western hardware ensures access to tested logistics networks and global support. Systems built in the East may come cheaper, but they rarely offer the same reliability or integration across multinational operations. The deal also deepens ties between London and Ankara. Turkish technicians will train alongside British engineers, gaining first-hand experience in overhaul processes and maintenance procedures. That knowledge transfer could later feed into Turkey's own aerospace ambitions, perhaps even its domestic transport aircraft programs. But Turkey's balancing act continues. Lean too close to the West and it risks political backlash from partners like Russia or Iran. Drift too far the other way and access to Western technology and spare parts could be quietly restricted. For now, Ankara is trying to walk the razor's edge, cooperating with both sides while keeping its strategic autonomy intact. Beyond politics, this acquisition underlines a universal truth. In the modern age, logistics win wars. A nation that can move troops and equipment faster than its adversaries holds the real advantage long after the front lines have shifted. The 12 C-130Js might seem like a modest addition on paper, but in practice, they could transform Turkey's rapid response capability for years to come. These aircraft also carry symbolic weight. They are, in a sense, a bridge, connecting the legacy of Britain's airlift operations with Turkey's growing ambitions as a regional power. Each aircraft represents not only a machine of steel and rivets, but also an idea that mobility, readiness, and reach define the strength of a nation far more than headlines about weapons alone. Turkey is preparing for a future where conflict is unpredictable and alliances constantly shift. The Super Hercules fleet gives Turkey flexibility, the ability to act fast, far, and effectively, whether delivering troops into conflict zones or aid into disaster-struck cities. In a world divided by old powers and rising ones, Turkey's purchase of the C-130J Super Hercules is a small but clear statement that endurance, not spectacle, keeps a nation standing. If you see this conflict as more than a contest between nations, remember, our world has never truly been at peace.